Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, you look lovely.
Thank you. So do you. I
I'm
love your like setup in the
Oh,
background.
thank you. My little girl apartment. My
It's
girl,
so
my
cute.
bachelorette pad. So to start it off, speaking of like fun aesthetics, first of all, congratulations on everything coming your way. This is, I know, a really exciting transition for you, and I'm so excited for everything you have coming on. I absolutely love this movie. One of my favorite things was these outfits and just like the very like 80s dynamic that it had going on. What was it like to sort of tap into that mindset, and what were your personal favorite things about it?
Ooh, I had so much fun because like I'm a 90s baby, and so I never really got to experience the 80s, and I've never portrayed a character that took place in the 80s too. So when I heard about that, like immediately went to Pinterest and started creating like mood boards because I wanted to get like a general understanding of like what was in the 80s in terms of like fashion, music, film, everything, pop culture. And so I did a bit of a deep dive, but also I had a bunch of conversations with Zelda, and I asked her to actually send over her like a Spotify album of like songs that she would listen to while storyboarding for the movie and everything. That way I could get like an understanding of the general tone. But also, I had so much fun working with the stylists on set because they had so many options, and I was asking them like, where do you even get these clothes from? Are they like custom made? Because obviously people don't make the clothes that they had in the 80s the same way anymore. And a lot of them actually, she had to source from all over the world just to find like these specific pieces that all actually, I believe, come from the 80s. Like they're all really old pieces. And so that was so much fun. And even when it came to hair and makeup, like it was generally like a great collaboration between Zelda, the producers, me, and the artists who were creating the looks. And it was nice that like Zelda was able to give her input, but still gave a lot of the creative freedom to the artists. So yeah.
I absolutely love the Pinterest mood board idea. That's amazing. I do that for all my own stuff. So that's so exciting to really see that come to life on screen. I love the amount of like creativity and creative element that you had with that. I think do you think that that helped connect you to the character more and helped you get into the role of Taffy?
For sure. Like, it was really important to me that like I truly understood what it was like to be a teenager back in the 80s, just so that like, my body language would be on point, the way that I would talk, even like just simply understanding some of the references that Diablo had in the script. Those were all very like, it was very important for me to understand, the pop culture in the 80s so that I could understand my character in general. But also it was just it's fun, like it's a lot of fun colors. It's like playing dress up. It's like having like a little fun 80s party every day, honestly.
I love that so much. And this movie is so fun and there's so much to it. There's so many different dynamics that's going on. I love that the tagline is coming of rage because it really does sum it up. It's so good. How did you approach all the complexities of this character? Such a unique blend of horror, comedy, and romance. There's so much going on.
Mhm. I would say that it was just finding the right balance between being perceived by the audience as the mean girl, but actually not being the mean girl. Because, for the sake of the film, you kind of want to lead them on into thinking like, is Taffy really on Lisa's side, or is she going to like turn around and be that evil stepsister that, everybody is so familiar with? Um, and I had to have like a lot of conversations with Zelda about like where my character is actually coming from. Is she genuine, or is she putting on a show because she's just a people pleaser and just wants everyone to like her? And Zelda had made it very clear to me that like Taffy is just a sweet girl. She's just very genuine. And it just so happens that she does kind of lean into that, popular girl trope. It's like, it's just in her DNA because of the way that she was brought into the world by Janet and everything. But like genuinely, like at her core, she's just a good person. And so I constantly just had to remind myself of that. Like even when I had lines that were kind of snooty or like kind of offensive, I would always like try to say it with like a smile on my face, or like just say it without like really meaning anything deeper behind it.
Absolutely. You are seeing like you now versus you on screen is so crazy because you can really tell just by talking to you that you are that very genuine person. You're so sweet. Something that you mentioned a bit ago that I found really interesting was talking about just the differences between American and Filipino humor and how that translates. And that's like a very interesting perspective and something that I don't think I would have thought about. Obviously, there's a comedy. Would you say that there are any more like specific instances or aspects of the production that like with different cultural nuances that were an adjustment? And like, what did you notice about that you didn't realize you would before?
What I didn't realize about like Hollywood production is like I think it's like composed of a lot of highly specialized like units or groups. So like, you know, you have the sounds people, you have the art department, you have the glam, you have the styling, as opposed to like in the Philippines or in Asia in general, I feel like um a lot of people in production wear multiple hats. So they're taking on different responsibilities. Like, for example, in the Philippines, a makeup artist also does prosthetics or also will help you with hair and styling and everything. And that's just like that's on a surface level, but that's what I didn't realize about Hollywood before. Like an audio man will never touch anything that isn't part of his department or anything. But like in the Philippines, an audio man will sometimes help with carrying some of the lights or whatever. So that was very interesting. Also, some of like the words that like the language that they use on set, for example, in the Philippines, whenever we read our script and we want to throw like dialogue with our co-actors, we're like, do you want to read our lines? And here in Hollywood, it's do you want to read go through our sides or something like that. So at first when they were like, do you want to read our sides? I was like, what sides? What sides are you talking about? I don't get you. And then there was a lot of other ones that I honestly forgot because we filmed it like almost 2 years ago, but there's those tiny things as well. But there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I can imagine. And that's also interesting. Like, I love that perspective. Now, one of my favorite things about the film is your relationship dynamic with Catherine on screen. You guys have such a great banter going on, and like through the good moments and the bad. What was that dynamic like on set between you guys?
Catherine is like the biggest sweetheart. I was so nervous going into filming because I have I don't know, I was just assuming that they would be, you know, a little bit more quiet to themselves, a little bit more serious. But Catherine, she's just so much fun. She has so much energy, so much good positive energy. And when the moment I met her, like she came up to me and hugged me and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're here." I quickly learned that she's also a K-pop fan, so we really bonded over K-pop. We were filming like TikTok dances to K-pop songs and stuff like that. And she is like such a great lead because she takes on the responsibility of making sure that like her co-stars are comfortable, that everyone around her is comfortable. And I think that's like a really amazing quality that all lead actors must kind of take on, whether they know that or not. It's like kind of your responsibility to like set the tone for everyone else. And her and Cole did an excellent job at that.
Absolutely. Leslie, you are so lovely. I absolutely love this movie. You are so amazing in it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to see everything you do.
Thank you so much, Sydney.